Hello everyone, it's Chris. Welcome back to the channel. We are rapidly approaching 2025, but in this video we're going to talk about 2026 and make some, not resolutions, but predictions about 2026. So it's a light snow right now. The sun's trying to peek its way out. There's the beautiful Canadian skyline. But today we're going to talk about 2026, and to do that, let's head to Goat Island, which is part of Niagara Falls State Park. We're in Niagara Falls State Park right now, kind of on the northern fringes of the park. Sort of. Not exactly. If you don't subscribe to the channel, if you would subscribe, I sure would appreciate it. I've mentioned this before on other videos, but I don't like to ask folks to like a video before they watch the video. I just don't feel... I know that's standard operating practice with YouTube. No matter what videos, what channels you watch, that's standard operating procedure. I don't feel comfortable doing that. But I do feel comfortable asking you, look, if you're going to watch the channel, if you would subscribe, I sure would appreciate it. And if you'd hit that bell button, I have no idea what that bell button does, but apparently that bell button helps small channels by notifying you when videos are posted. So one of the first things that attracted me to the Can Am Spyder was days like this. As a minimalist who was thinking about giving up my car and just sticking with my motorcycle, a two-wheel motorcycle at the time, there would be many days in Niagara Falls just like this, where there'd be light snow on the ground, semi-slick roads. Now actually the roads are pretty... I would ride a two-wheel motorcycle right now, but some of the side streets still have... they look like that, and I wouldn't feel comfortable on a two-wheel motorcycle on those streets, and that's why the Spyder, with its inherent stability... Okay, so we're crossing over the Upper Niagara, the rapids as they're fast approaching Niagara Falls right there. But it was days like this that I thought, okay, I couldn't ride my two-wheel motorcycle, but if I had a Spyder, I could. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about 2026. Even though I'm shooting this video in late 2024, we're about to cross to 2025. So why am I going to talk about 2026? Well, I've mentioned this in a couple of other videos, but I thought today would be a day, you know, New Year's is about New Year's resolutions. I'm not really a resolutions guy. So I thought I'd make a prediction, and that's what I'm going to do. So this is a Can Am Spyder RT Limited. It's a 2023 model that I bought in early 2024 as a leftover. My prediction is that 2026 is the year for the revamped RTs. And the reason I make that prediction, not because I'm a soothsayer or fortune teller, it's merely deductive reasoning, and I may be proven wrong. You'll be able to put this video in my face if I'm, you know, in a year from now I'm proven wrong. But the RTs had a 6-year run between 2014 and 2019, right? 2014, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19, 6 years before they were revamped. And they were revamped in 2020 and came out with basically this model. And this model has had a run of 5 years now. So the 2020s, 21s, 22s, this is a 23. The 24s are on the road right now, and Can Am just released the information in, I believe it was August or September, on the 2025 models, and they're all essentially the same. Minor changes on... they made some changes on the instrument display system, which I actually love. It's a TFT display. It's much better. They made some switchgear changes, maybe a couple of other minor changes, but the body, the engine, it is essentially the same machine. So I'm merely thinking that they had the first RT. I shouldn't say the first RT. I believe it was the first RT. They may have had an iteration before 2014 of the RT, but the 2014 to 2019, 6 years, I maintain that that's what they're going to do with this model, and in 2026 they will completely revamp this thing. What will they do to it? Certainly body changes. It's got a good engine in it, but it's dated. It's 10 years old. So maybe they improve the energy efficiency of the fuel efficiency, I should say, of the engine. You know, this is not a good MPG machine. Now, granted, it's 1,000 pounds, so that little machine, that little engine's got to put out, I shouldn't say little, it's 1,330 cc's, but that engine's got to push around 1,000-pound beast. So I understand why it doesn't get the 50 miles per gallon that I expected with previous motorcycles. But maybe they make it a little more efficient. Lots of little gremlins to improve on this thing. The seat shock is, you know, it's infamous for that thing failing. It failed for me. The seat shock failed for me on my second fueling. My dealer fixed it, but now it fails intermittently, so there's an issue there. There's a lot of little known issues, little bugs. In fact, what I'm going to do, one of my early videos, I think I had like 1,000 miles on this thing, I said, okay, this is what I'd like to see Can Am do when they revise the Spyder. I think I'm going to put a link to that video, maybe in the description on this video. I'll put a link to that video in terms of 10 or 12 things that I wish that they'd make changes to regarding the Spyder. But I believe that some of those changes and others, and you know, Can Am's got some pretty good engineers who are probably trying to think of new and, you know, exciting things for their models, and so maybe things that, you know, we couldn't even conceive of. But I predict that 2026 will be the year for the model revise, and that will be announced at some point later in 2025. Now, that'll probably be a big press event. It'll certainly be all over their website, all over social media, and my guess is that'll be, so for the 2025 models, very good, very good. For the 2025 models, they did that, I think, in late August. Maybe it was early September. They released them in 2024, the fall of 2024. My guess is they'll do that at some point for the 2026 models, late August, September, maybe October. But at some point in late 2025, we're going to know whether I'm right or wrong. And I'll be honest, I am quite excited about it. I love this machine. I love it, but it's got some gremlins, and I'd love to see BRP, you know, prove that they can fix those gremlins and innovate some more with a revised machine. If you have thoughts on that, if you have more history on the Spyder than I do, please chime in the comments. Now, all of this relates to the RT. I don't know much about the F3. I don't know when it was introduced, how long it's been around. I know really very little about the Rikers. I was attracted to the RT from the beginning in terms of all of the BRP on-road products because it's most like the motorcycles that I was one last look until 2025. This is the last look you're going to get from me, at least, of the falls, of the water pouring towards the falls. But what attracted me to the Spyder RT versus the F3 is you get kind of an upright riding position, you sit up high. So my KTM, my previous bikes, I've had V-Stroms, KLR 650s, their seat heights were all 32, 33, 34 inches. And I like that. It's almost like, you know, it's the same appeal. A lot of people are attracted to SUVs, right? You sit up high and you can see things, you know, when you're in traffic. And the RT, you sit up high. Now, it's not as high as an adventure bike, but it's pretty close. I think the seat height on this is 30, 31 inches. It's been a long time since I looked at that stat. I might dig it up and put it in the video if I can find it. It's not as high as an adventure bike, but it's higher than the F3 and the Rikers. When I sat on those machines, it just didn't appeal to me. But again, I was coming from an adventure bike. If I was coming from a Harley or a sport bike or a cruiser that you sat kind of in the machine, kind of you sat low, my guess is I'd have a different machine right now. But because of my history, this is what I was attracted to. But that's not what this video is about. If you have any comments on any of the predictions or anything we talked about, please go ahead and comment. If you like the video, now's the time when I ask you to hit that like button. And again, I'll ask you, if you don't subscribe, to subscribe. But more important than any of that, I need to thank you for watching the channel. The channel's not even a year. It was started on January 1st of 2024. So as I'm shooting this, as you're watching this, it's pretty close to a year old, and it'll be a year old on January 1st, obviously, but it didn't really take off until I bought the Spyder, because it's difficult to have a Spyder channel without a Spyder. And I bought the Spyder March 13th, and that's when the channel really took off, and now we're well past 2,000 subscribers, and that's thanks to you. So I want to take this opportunity to, one, thank you, and two, wish you a very happy and a safe new year, a great 2025 for all of us, and until the next video, which you will be watching in 2025. Now, I shouldn't say that, because these videos, there's a legacy here, right? They last forever. But if you watch my videos as they're posted, I should say, then the next video you see from me will be in 2025. And until then, have a great day. Thanks again. Bye-bye.